On the seventh day, march around the city 7 times. Then the priests should make a long blast with the ram's horn. As soon as you hear the sound of the people shall shout a great shout.
Hi everybody, today is November 21st, 2014. UK troops conduct joint exercise in Poland. Around 1,300 UK soldiers have been honing their skills in the largest armored deployment to Eastern Europe in 6 years.
Polish and British troops continue to take part today in a joint exercise marketed by the MOD as a reassurance package for our Eastern European allies, but arguably to threaten Russia in the belief that Moscow wishes to invade the West. No fewer than 350 armed vehicles are involved, and no one in our government or that of Poland seems to have thought how this is going to be viewed by the international community. The world, NATO countries notwithstanding, is used to the massive propaganda attack on Russia after the coup d'etat in Ukraine. Even elections in the east of the country haven't quietened British politicians and media about how Russia is the biggest enemy we now face. But actual military exercises with a British army that's already seen its budget slashed by the government because of bank bailouts. And what is this operation called? It's called Operation Black Eagle, maybe named after this African black eagle, which at least is not an endangered species.
It's a scene that might have been familiar in the old Cold War era. But this is today, British and Polish tanks on manoeuvre in Eastern Europe. This exercise is a response to the actions of a near neighbour, Russia's military intervention in Crimea and eastern Ukraine, a sign of rising tensions and talk of a new Cold War.
It's not fueling the Cold War. What's fueling the Cold War is Putin violating the rules of international law. It's a very important demonstration to Russia that NATO will not be intimidated.
In Europe, this is the furthest east British tanks have been, some taken out of storage to meet a resurgent threat and to reassure a close NATO ally. It is just a war game, but with live ammunition and a relevant scenario. The tanks are repelling a fictional enemy that's attacked an unnamed sovereign state.
This is the first time in the best part of a decade that British tanks have been rolling across European fields. The Cold War was supposed to be over, but because of renewed tensions with Russia, they're now back on exercise here in Poland.
It's not just NATO that's stepping up its military activity. This year, there have been 3 times as many intercepts of Russian warplanes near NATO airspace. And it comes at a time when Britain's military is shrinking. And while it's having to deal with other threats,
the tanks behind me from the Army's 3rd Division have been exercising with their Polish counterparts for nearly 5 weeks. The exercise sees them relearning the sort of armoured warfare that they haven't practiced all the time they've been deployed in Afghanistan. At the same time, it reassures the Poles at this time of heightened tension with Russia that Britain will stand by its NATO eastern allies.
This is about combined arms training, which is something we probably haven't done a great deal of over the last 5 to 10 years. We're doing it with our Polish allies, again something we haven't done for a long time. Interoperability is right at the heart of our future design, and it's really important that we do it within the NATO context, because NATO is the bedrock of our defence policy. I think the important message it sends is that the NATO alliance is alive and well, and that we want to work together. We're going to train together over the course of the next few years, and that's a really important thing for us to do.
On the 7th day, march around the city 7 times. Then the priests should make a long blast with the ram's horn. As soon as you hear the sound of the
Give this city to the Lord! Jericho is ours!